Hello Life Church. Today we're looking at Acts 28 verses 1 to 10. In this passage, Paul and Luke and all the other crew, along with prisoners and soldiers, have been shipwrecked on their way to Rome. They've managed to escape safely to land, and they find themselves on the island of Malta. Here they are welcomed by the locals, who have built a fire for them. I want us to look today at 3 things that I think we can learn from Paul's example in this passage. Paul helps to collect more firewood. This, I think, shows his willingness to do whatever needs doing. It shows his servant-heartedness. Are we willing to do whatever needs doing? Do we have that same servant heart? Or do we sometimes think tasks are beneath us, or complain that we're cold and wet and tired, like Paul must have been in this situation? Whilst collecting firewood, he's bitten by a snake. A deadly viper attaches itself to his hand. His reaction seems almost nothing. He simply shakes the snake off, much to the surprise of the locals. Is this because he's got his eyes fixed on God and God's promises, who after all has promised him safe passage to Rome, so he isn't perhaps distracted by the fear? Are we sometimes distracted by our circumstances rather than keeping our eyes fixed on God and his promises? Paul and all the others are invited to stay with Publius, an important citizen of Malta. Paul prays for Publius' father, who is sick, and he's healed. As a result, many sick islanders come to Publius' house, come to Paul for prayer, and many are healed. This shows Paul's willingness to do whatever needs doing, wherever he is, whatever the circumstances, even when it's not part of his plan and perhaps is an inconvenience. Are we willing to do the same? Are we willing to serve God and serve others wherever we find ourselves, even if it's not part of our plan